Have you ever walked into a room, maybe a grocery store, a family gathering, or just down the street, and for a brief moment, you feel eyes on you? Not in a bad way, not in a threatening way, but in a way that makes you wonder, did someone just notice me? Then just as quickly, you shrug it off. I'm too old for that. They're probably looking at something behind me. That couldn't possibly be about me. But here's the thing. What if it was about you? What if, without even realizing it, you're turning heads, catching glances, being admired, quietly, subtly, even reverently, because you carry something that can't be manufactured? You see, the world has this sneaky way of making older women feel invisible. Like once you pass a certain age, your beauty gets archived. Like you're no longer seen, no longer felt, no longer admired. But that's a lie. A dangerous one. Because beauty doesn't end. It doesn't expire. It evolves. And if you're not paying attention, you might miss the signs that you've grown into something even more magnetic than you were in your 20s. It's not about tight skin or trendy outfits. It's about presence. It's about how people feel when you walk into a room. It's about quiet confidence, grace, and the kind of beauty that lingers. And guess what? You might already be giving off that energy, even if you don't realize it. So in this video, we're diving into 7 clear signs. Real, honest, eye-opening signs that you're a good-looking older woman. Even if no one's told you. Even if you've never believed it. And especially if you've been feeling invisible lately. By the time we reach the end of this video, you might see yourself differently. You might even start saying thank you instead of, oh, stop it. Because you'll understand the quiet power you hold, the kind of beauty that doesn't need to shout to be noticed. If you're watching this and thinking, could that really be me? Comment below and type, still got it. Because chances are, you absolutely do. And if you're new here, welcome to Elder Talks Daily. We're all about embracing age with elegance, with truth, and with a little bit of sparkle. So go ahead and subscribe, we've got plenty more beauty, wisdom, and confidence waiting for you. Let's get into it. Picture this. You've just run out to grab something from the store. You didn't spend an hour in front of the mirror. You didn't curl your hair. You didn't swipe on mascara or put together a carefully styled outfit. You just showed up. Comfy shoes, a well-loved sweater, maybe even your reading glasses hanging from your collar. But then, out of the corner of your eye, you notice it. A glance. A pause. Someone just looked at you a second longer than expected. Now you might chuckle and think, they must have mistaken me for someone else. Or maybe you assume it's pity, curiosity, or just coincidence. But let me gently challenge that. What if it's none of those things? What if they saw something real, something captivating, and couldn't look away? Because here's the truth no one tells us, as we get older, something remarkable happens. Our features settle into place. The years smooth out what youth made chaotic. Your face begins to reflect not just your genetics, but your story. Every smile line, every graceful strand of silver hair, it speaks. And it speaks confidence. Grace. Strength. Warmth. It's not loud. It's not showy. But that's exactly what makes it beautiful. You see, beauty in youth is often about effort. But beauty in age? It's about ease. There's an effortless glow in the way you carry yourself. Your posture says, I know who I am. Your eyes say, I've seen things. And I'm still here. And your energy? It speaks louder than any red lipstick ever could. Still, too many women think beauty needs to make noise. That it needs heels, tight clothes, big jewelry, something extra. But you don't need to try to be noticed. You already are. So the next time someone holds your gaze a little longer, don't dismiss it. Don't shrink away. Don't brush it off as wishful thinking. Just smile. Stand tall. And let that quiet power settle over you. Because you've earned it. Now, physical beauty might draw eyes. But presence, that intangible, magnetic presence, is what holds them. Let's talk about that next. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a room, maybe with younger folks, maybe at a family gathering, and suddenly, it gets quiet when you start talking? People turn. They lean in. They actually listen. And in that moment, you feel something shift, like your words carry a certain weight. Now, maybe you chalk it up to respect. They're just being polite. Or maybe you think, well, I am the oldest here. They probably just feel like they have to listen. But what if it's more than that? What if they're not just hearing you? They're drawn to you. Because let's tell the truth, people don't give their attention freely. Not in today's noisy world. So if someone pauses their scroll, lowers their voice, or quiets a room just to hear what you have to say, that's not accidental. That's influence. That's presence. That's beauty showing up in a different form. See, as we age, something beautiful happens to the way we speak. Our voices become more steady. Our words are more intentional. There's a certain richness, almost a melody, in the way we tell stories, give advice, or share memories. You're not rambling. You're not lecturing. You're anchoring the room. People feel that. And whether they say it or not, they admire it. It's not just about being older. It's about the way you speak. The tone. The warmth. The clarity that only comes from years of learning what matters, and what doesn't. That kind of communication is rare. And rare things are beautiful. Now, here's the mistake a lot of women make: you underestimate your voice. You think, I'm just talking, but to someone else, your words might be a guiding light. A comfort. Even a moment of peace in a chaotic world. So the next time someone asks for your opinion, or you notice a younger person just lingering after your sentence ends, don't downplay it. They're not just being polite. They're not just nodding along. They're connecting with something in you. It's not just wisdom they're drawn to, it's your charisma. Your calm. Your confidence. You don't need to shout to be heard. You never have. And now, more than ever, your words hold power simply because they come from you. So speak. Share. Laugh. Tell that story you've told 10 times before, because someone needs to hear it the 11th. You're not just being heard. You're being felt. And speaking of being felt, let's move to something even more subtle, but just as powerful: your energy. Because that, my friend, is where true beauty begins to glow. You ever notice how some people walk into a room and suddenly, everything feels different? They don't raise their voice. They're not wearing sparkles. They don't demand attention. But the moment they arrive, the space just feels softer. Warmer. Calmer. Maybe that person is you. And you've never even realized it. You see, when you've lived through enough life, when you've felt joy and loss, pride and pain, something changes in the way you carry yourself. You don't walk in needing approval. You don't second-guess your place in the room. You've got nothing to prove. And that energy, that still, centered energy, is what people feel before they even notice what you're wearing or how your hair looks. It's the kind of presence that makes people relax around you. That draws them closer without you saying a word. It's not something you can fake. It's not something you can buy. It only comes from knowing yourself. From having walked through enough storms that you no longer chase the sun, because you are the sun. But here's where the world gets it wrong. Too often, beauty is packaged as something bold. Loud makeup. Loud laughter. Loud everything. But let me tell you something. There is nothing more alluring than stillness. Stillness that says, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to be myself. You see, real beauty doesn't chase. It doesn't beg. It doesn't perform. It just is. And when you show up with that quiet confidence, when you radiate calm instead of chaos, people feel safer around you. They want to talk to you. Be near you. Learn from you. Not because you're flashy, but because your energy feels like home. You might think, I'm just doing what I've always done. But the way you carry yourself now, the peace you bring into a space, that's something very few people possess. So own it. Don't minimize it. Don't apologize for it. The world needs more of that grounded, gracious energy. And you, my dear, are giving it off without even trying. Still wondering if you're being noticed? Well, let's look at the compliments you've been getting lately. Because sometimes, the truth is hidden in the way people praise you. Let's talk about that next. Has this ever happened to you? You're chatting with someone, maybe a neighbor, a cashier, a friend's daughter, and out of nowhere, they say something like, "You look amazing." Or, "There's just something about you." They smile, kind of awkwardly, and then quickly change the subject, like they're not quite sure how to put it into words. And you? You probably smile politely, shrug it off, maybe even laugh and say, "Oh please, I'm just tired and running errands." But let me ask you, why do you brush it off so quickly? Because here's what they really mean when they fumble through those compliments. They're not just looking at your outfit. They're not fixated on your makeup or hairstyle. They're feeling something. Something they can't quite name. Something that lingers after you walk away. That's the thing about beauty as we age, it's no longer confined to surface-level features. It blends with grace. With kindness. With confidence. It becomes something that's felt, not just seen. And when someone gives you a compliment but can't quite explain why, it usually means your beauty has caught them off guard. Not in a loud, flashy way, but in that quiet, graceful way that sneaks up on people. And listen, people don't hand out compliments for no reason. Not adults. Not in a world that's moving 100 miles an hour. So when someone stops to notice you, to admire something about your presence, even if they don't have the words, believe them. Because that's real. But here's the part so many women get wrong. We're taught to dismiss praise. To wave it off. To say, "Oh stop, you're just being nice." No. Let that sink in, you are not just being flattered. You are being seen. And the next time someone offers a kind word, even if they stumble through it, even if they wrap it in awkward laughter, don't shrink. Don't dismiss it. Just smile. Look them in the eye. And say, "Thank you." Because you are glowing in ways they can't explain. And that glow? That's not in your skin. It's in your spirit. Now, if you've ever wondered whether people truly notice you, whether your beauty still registers in the world, pay attention to how they treat you. Because sometimes, the strongest signs don't come from words at all. They come from actions. Let's dive into that next. Let's talk about something subtle, but powerful. You're walking through the parking lot, and someone rushes ahead to hold the door open for you. You're standing in line, and the cashier suddenly softens their tone when it's your turn. Or maybe a younger woman smiles at you, genuinely, warmly, and offers a compliment that feels unforced. These little moments? They might seem ordinary. Like people are just being polite. But what if they're not just being polite? What if you're experiencing something else entirely? What if these small acts of kindness are actually quiet acknowledgments of your beauty? Because here's the truth most people won't say out loud: we treat beauty differently. Not in a shallow, magazine cover kind of way. But in a respectful, almost instinctive way. People are drawn to beauty that feels gentle. Approachable. Real. And when you radiate that kind of beauty, mature, grounded, warm, strangers feel it. They don't always know why they want to help you, why they feel the urge to smile at you, or why they go out of their way to make your day a little easier. But they do it. And that's the sign. That's the signal you might be missing. Now, I'm not saying every act of kindness is rooted in admiration. Some people are just good-hearted. But when you notice a pattern, when it happens again and again, you've got to ask yourself, why do people treat me this way? Because you might be giving off something soothing. Something comforting. Something lovely. And it's not about what you're wearing. It's not about being done up. It's about the quiet grace in your face. The way your presence softens the space around you. The way your energy feels safe, welcoming, elegant. That's beauty. That's charisma. That's something people feel, and they respond to it without even thinking. So the next time someone lets you cut in line, offers to help carry your bags, or even gives you an unexpected compliment, don't wave it off. don't assume it's just because you're older. Maybe, just maybe, it's because you're beautiful in a way that makes people want to be near you. To honor you. To show up for you. And if that's not the truest kind of beauty, I don't know what is. But let's take it one step further. Because sometimes, the way you wear your age, your style, your choices, your attitude, inspires people. Let's talk about how you make aging look effortlessly stylish. You know what's fascinating? You walk into a room, and suddenly people are looking at your scarf. That silver streak in your hair catches the light just right. Your earrings, simple, elegant, feel like they were meant for you. And someone, maybe younger, maybe older, says something like, "Wow. I hope I look like you when I get to your age." And you smile, a little surprised. Because in your mind, you were just being you. You weren't trying to impress. You weren't following a trend. You were just dressing in a way that feels natural, comfortable, authentic. But that authenticity? That's exactly what makes your style so magnetic. See, real style isn't about the latest fashion magazines or trying to copy what someone younger is doing on social media. It's about knowing what works for you, what speaks to your soul and wraps around your body like it was made for you. And that kind of style? It's rare. It doesn't scream for attention, it commands respect. You're not trying to look young. You're showing the world what it looks like to age with elegance. You're wearing age like it's a privilege, not a burden. And people notice. You've probably seen it, someone complimenting your glasses, your jacket, your nails, your smile. It's not always about the clothes. It's the way you wear them. It's the quiet confidence underneath. And when you step out into the world fully as yourself, no mask, no pretending, that's when you glow. That's when you make people pause. Because you remind them that aging isn't about fading away. It's about becoming. So don't think for 1 second that your style goes unnoticed. You're setting the tone. You're leading by example. And in a world that tells women to fight aging, you're showing how beautiful it can be to embrace it. Now think about this. When you no longer dress to impress, but instead dress to express your comfort, your story, your soul, that's when true beauty walks beside you. Quietly. Confidently. And sometimes, the most stunning thing you'll ever wear, is comfort in your own skin. There's a moment that happens, often without warning. You wake up one day, and you realize something's changed. Not in your face. Not in your figure. But in your spirit. You're not trying so hard anymore. You're not walking into rooms wondering if people like you. You're not obsessing over every wrinkle, every gray hair, every outfit. Because deep down, you've made peace with yourself. You've stopped chasing perfection, and started honoring the woman you've become. You trust your instincts. You speak your truth. You don't feel the need to shrink or apologize or ask permission. And that, right there, that deep, unshakable comfort in your own skin, is breathtaking. Because when you're at ease with who you are, you glow in a way no skincare product, no filter, no fancy lighting could ever recreate. You walk with a softness that says, "I've lived." You carry a strength that whispers, "I've survived." And you smile like someone who finally knows she doesn't have to prove a thing. It's not that you don't care how you look, it's that your worth is no longer tied to it. And that shift, that quiet transformation, it shows. In your eyes. In your posture. In the way you laugh from your belly instead of your throat. You've become someone people feel safe around. Someone who doesn't need to compete, doesn't need to compare, doesn't need the spotlight, because she is the light. There's no panic in your beauty. No desperation. Just presence. Just peace. And that kind of beauty, it's unforgettable. So if you've ever wondered whether you're still seen, still radiant, still worth admiring, just pause. Check in with how you feel when you walk into a space. Because if you're walking in without fear, without need, without pretense, that's not just confidence. That's grace. That's power. That's what makes you stunning, without even trying. Let's take a breath for a second. Because if any part of this message has stirred something in you, Something tender, maybe even a little emotional. You're not alone. You see, being a woman in this world, especially as the years go by, often comes with a quiet grief. Not for the number on the birthday cake, but for the way society slowly tries to dim your light. It's in the way people stop complimenting you. In the way you're expected to become smaller, quieter, less visible. And yet, here you are. Still glowing. Still growing. Still stunning in a way that no one can define, but everyone can feel. It's not easy, is it? To hold your head high in a world that worships youth. To believe you are beautiful when mirrors and media try to convince you otherwise. To carry yourself with grace while fighting off the quiet lie that you've somehow become less. But here's the truth, you are not less. You are more. More grounded. More soulful. More captivating than you've ever been. Because you've lived. You've endured. You've bloomed. And nothing, not age, not wrinkles, not opinions, can take that away from you. You've become the kind of woman who doesn't just walk into a room. You change it. And if nobody's told you this lately, let me say it plainly, you are seen. You are admired. You are beautiful, in every way that matters. Don't let the silence of the world make you question your worth. Don't wait for someone else to validate it. Start owning it. Today. Because the real magic of your beauty isn't in how you look. It's in how you make people feel. It's in how you carry your story, with dignity, with softness, with strength. And that's the kind of beauty that never fades. It only deepens. So wherever you are, whatever stage you're in, know this, you don't need permission to be proud of who you are. You are not invisible. You are irreplaceable. And the world is better, brighter, and softer, because you're in it. Let's take a moment to reflect. We've just walked through 7 signs, not of fading, but of flourishing. Signs that prove you are still beautiful, still magnetic, still seen. Even if no one said it out loud. Even if you've forgotten it yourself. To recap, here's what we uncovered today, you turn heads without even trying. People lean in when you speak. You radiate calm, confident energy. You get compliments that feel deeper than just appearance. Strangers show you kindness for reasons they can't explain. You make aging look effortlessly stylish. And most of all, you're finally, beautifully comfortable in your own skin. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these signs made you pause and think, wait a minute, that sounds like me? Was it the way people listen when you speak? Or maybe how strangers are drawn to your warmth without knowing why? Go ahead, drop a comment below. Let's celebrate that together. And if you're someone who's never really believed in your beauty, but maybe, just maybe, this video helped you see yourself a little differently, tell me that too. I read every word. If this message made you smile, made you feel seen, or gave your confidence a gentle nudge, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to Elder Talks Daily. Here, we don't just talk about growing older. We talk about growing bolder. Wiser. Softer. Stronger. So hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with a woman who needs to hear these words today. And remember, beauty doesn't have a deadline. It doesn't have a limit. And it certainly doesn't end with age. It evolves. Just like you. Stay kind to yourself. Stay radiant. And I'll see you in the next one.